Everyone, and welcome back. I hope you're doing really well. I wanted to come on today and personally wish you a happy astrological new year, happy equinox. I am so looking forward to this oncoming year that we will be having. It is a year of the tiger. We are in all planets direct right now. It is going to be a very progressing, advancing year for us, and I wanted to come on today to YouTube and personally invite you over to my Patreon page where I do weekly tea chats every Saturday, which is a content I've been doing since I believe 2019. And in these weekly tea chats that I put up every Saturday only on Patreon, I talk about the week ahead as well as any intuitive messages that I'm seeing, and I also will sometimes do installments of viewer requests as well on the tea chat, which I am hoping to do some of those soon as well. When you become a member of the Patreon page, you get the opportunity to do requests or ask questions, and I may talk about those in the viewer request segments of tea chats. Also on Patreon, I have early ad-free access to general readings as of right now, and just general access to all of the content that I put here on YouTube. It can be a little bit easier to get that access as the notification system on Patreon is a little bit more streamlined. So it's a great way to keep up with the channel. I have a lot of really flexible tiers, ranging from $5 and up. I have a really cool theme. I just reworked the tiers a little bit, and my recommendation for you all is the new Synergy tier, which is a $12 tier that gives you access to all of the tea chats and the early ad-free tarot readings or general readings, and but there are other tiers that you can feel free to scroll through over on Patreon, but I'm going to link below as the first link the sign up area for the Patreon page. And in this video I'm also going to include a segment of the most recent equinox tea chat that I did detailing the week ahead of March 21st to March 28th. And I will go ahead and segue into that now as a kind of free introduction to what you might receive if you've been considering signing up to the Patreon page. This content is different lengths every week, but they usually range from like 15 minutes to 30 minutes every Saturday, and it's a great little, week by week installment series only available on Patreon. So let's check out that tea chat now, and I will link in the top right hand corner right now if you want to sign up to the Patreon page. I like to keep you guys updated here on YouTube about what else I offer. So happy equinox, and I hope you guys enjoy this little snippet of Tea Chat 106. Much love. Bye. Hi everyone, and welcome to Tea Chat 106. I hope you're doing really well today. I'm coming on to talk to you about the week ahead of March 21st until March 28th. Getting some wonderful equinox insights coming in. I've been excited to make this tea chat because at long last we are out of the previous, ox year cycle. Even though the Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year happened on around the time of February 1st. I find that the equinox always really locks in the new year, and we are in the true new year here, okay? So the astrological new year is happening in conjunction with the equinox, and, I definitely recommend New Year's resolutions during this time, or any type of new systems, structures, methods, or strategies to be being prepared to implement now. For many of us, I think as I'm filming this on March 19th, we've still got these 2 or 3 days left of Pisces season. So it's a wonderful time to sleep, catch up on rest, and decompress yourself, and prepare to start moving pretty quickly, We have Year of the Tiger, which I made a video on. If you haven't seen yet, be sure to scroll down and check it out. It is here on Patreon. And we're going to be moving pretty quick, okay? For many of us who embraced the previous ox year and got stuff done, had endurance, and methodically powered through, you might even be in the final stage of having to push so hard. But it does feel for everybody, at least for the first few months of Tiger Year, now that we have to push harder and faster. So I invite you all to think about what you need some quick action and quick leveling up with. And I invite you to let that be a thrilling, fun, and healing process, okay? So one of the first messages that I'm getting for the equinox and for this week ahead is realizing that we're actually on a pretty good path. We can probably make things right now, even if we have little errors or little glitches or little things that we're not sure about, I don't feel that it threatens us as much as we think. So feel free during this week ahead to let yourself just kind of, I don't know, dissipate those previous fears and worries, and know that if there are problems or if there are little things out of alignment, that they are going to kind of resolve themselves, or the universe is going to help you to spur the action to resolve it. We don't have to spend this oncoming year in the same amount of worry or the same amount of dread, okay, that we did the previous one. And I'm hoping that you all, by the March 21st, can just kind of have exhaled that feeling of dread or that feeling of heaviness, and have kind of maybe replaced it with a thriving part that looks forward to stepping up to the plate, or looks forward to solving these problems, is excited about resolution and excited about acceptance and connection to the higher goal that you've been needing. So for this entire week, we will be in a waning moon cycle, and the new moon in Aries will be happening, I believe, on March 31st. So we are entering a waning equinox. So that's a very interesting little combination of energies there. And it means that we have basically an entire year ahead based upon exhalation, based upon release, based upon decompressing this dread. I just feel keyword of dread coming up that the last year really injected into a lot of people. And why did that happen? It's not just for fun. It's not just because, the universe wants us to experience dread. I think it's because a lot of us had a purpose shift. I think it's because a lot of us realized who we are. And with that, probably brought a lot of dread or negative feelings around the parts that we had developed that conflict or contradict with who we are. So moving into this equinox, it's really good to acknowledge those parts that we feel conflicted about as contributory to the process of understanding that we've had in the first place. We are where we are right now because of every single thing we've ever done. We have to, and this is good stuff here. I'm so happy this is coming up. It's like we really can thrive or have a much easier time if we just understand that, maybe if we didn't have those conflicting experiences, maybe if we didn't have some of that tension, we wouldn't have generated also the new wants or the new purposes that we have now. So it's kind of like we need to be careful about thinking we have all of these non-contributory aspects of ourselves, or all of these conflicting components of, previous actions or previous goals that just aren't lining up. I think that those are also every bit as responsible for the new grand aspects of yourself that you are building. So we have to almost honor and acknowledge those parts of ourselves too, or we have to honor and acknowledge the things that we thought were mistakes or errors or glitches as a signal or as a beacon of perhaps what we don't want to do, or even a milestone of getting to where we do want to be. Because that, that vision of not wanting something really helps us to coordinate the important stuff. So coordination, right? That's probably going to be a great keyword for this astrological new year. Yoga, anything that coordinates you. We need a more coordinated approach to our growing process now. It's not just about random foliage. For many years, it's been about the random foliage where growth at any cost. If it's growing me, if I'm getting bigger, if I'm expanding, that's good no matter what. And we saw last year that sometimes those are weeds, or sometimes those are not necessarily the expansions that we want. So we have to get precise with our expansion. I've talked about how Year of the Tiger. I think the main keyword is precision. And we have to make sure that the actions that we're taking and the things that we're growing are precise and conjunct where we want to be. And this can also lead to a hyper-control focus, and we can get too controlling. And we have to understand also that there's an alchemy that we don't know. And I want you all, as much as you can, to detach from like any type of know-it-all-ism. Okay, none of us really know exactly how some of these components are going to alchemize, and we can't control it. And I think that's about 80% of the stress or the unwellness right now, is like the illusion that we can control everything, the illusion that we do know how somebody else might react or consider us, the illusion that we really understand everything, and we don't. Okay, so we have to really make room for the unknown, or make room for the potential of a totally different viewpoint or a totally different idea about how we're moving forward. And to kind of mitigate some of these unknowns, I think that getting more precise really is the answer, but there's a limit to even what that can contribute as well. We are also kind of still right in the middle of the All Planets Direct, and getting past that halfway point. So I'm hoping that you guys are seeing some progress. There should probably be 2 or 3 things in your life now that have changed, that perhaps you already have left behind, or that you have redone, amended, or set into a different momentum. And I think that that's going to be a really distinct thing that we're feeling this week ahead. So there's still time nonetheless. If you're feeling stagnant, or if you're feeling like you haven't introduced the changes that you needed, there's still time. And there's still actually a bit more than a month, as I'm filming this today, about a month and a week, about 5 weeks, okay, of All Planets Direct left. I mean, it's incredible how long this All Planets Direct is. So there might even be 2 more things that change up, or there might even be a series of shifting events still waiting for us. So I think we need to open ourselves up to positive changes. And this week, being that it is the last bit of Pisces, it's the cusp of Pisces and Aries, which is the energy of the spring equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere. What a wonderful time it would be to rebuild your aura, to strengthen your protective measures, to strengthen any type of, door between yourself and the outside world, because there are so many new things coming in. Okay, there's so much kind of unprecedented or experiences lacking in muscle memory, types of things coming in, that you want to make sure that your auric field is strong, because in that way, I could see that it would be easy to attract difficult energies as well, or it would be easy to have new difficult experiences, every bit as easy as having new positive experiences. And that depends on us, right? It depends on our karma. It depends on the ways that we have or have not been able to work with grace or operate with integrity and light, over the last few years. That's all a sliding scale, and it's different for everybody. And that really is very dependent on, it's a very conditional aspect of what we receive now. If you are feeling a heaviness, or if you've seen some negative progress, okay, which is possible right now. I'm sure that everybody's seen it to a degree. Again, nobody's perfect. We're all human. We're all on different degrees of doing things in a light or heavy or healthy or unhealthy way. Because of that, I'm sure that we can all see some positive and negative new introductions into our life. And it's a scale for everybody. It's a different balance for everyone. I'll talk to both. So if you feel that there's maybe a predominance of negative new introductions in your life right now, I would just really take time to focus on rebuilding that auric field. What can you do to do that? It's important to